So welcome to the 2019 edition of the Dubai event VriThink Night Out. To have the great minds switched in the on mode.
You really just need a spirit of adventure.
They just keep doing the same thing, but they do it so well that we love it. We want to be a part of it, we want to have it because we know we can trust it.
The passion for discovery, the passion for explorer.
The speakers that you're going to hear tonight all have that great spirit of adventure.
I will be talking about, I will show you different projects in various scales and talk about the production process of complex geometries in regards to design process and materiality. We're going from master plan to product design in all scales. The scale is actually on the right-hand side, starting with the master plan in Sharjah we are currently working on. The idea of this master plan is really like a drop of water hitting the ground, and the splash is creating these elliptically shaped buildings. The master plan is all about sustainability and walkability. You see here one image on the top, which is the water play area. The first phase is already on site and going to be opened this year. It's the sales center with its surrounding landscape. GSC panels are coming already on top. They will be casting shadow to the lower levels, like where the office space is and the exhibition space. The design is really drawn from the landscape, becomes one piece. One exciting other project is in Miami called the 1000 Museum. It's one of the most ambitious towers ever built. The exoskeleton has never been built in this kind of size. The facade panels are actually produced in Sharjah from a very brave man. They're going to be shipped then to Miami, assembled. The amazing part is that the facade is also the structure. So what it creates is like a column-free space with ultimate flexibility and basically no waste because the elements are used for casting. Another project we did is in New York. The chevron pattern is actually kind of weaving up, creating split levels and privacy for the apartments. The facade is fabricated in a local-based company. It's in stainless steel. Parts of the facade really look like boat design or airplane parts. They are cut, then folded, welded, grinded. And when the pieces are finished, they're shipped on site and clipped onto the edge of slab, giving like this beautiful picture on the top. The east facade is protruding out, makes like the high line, basically the backyard of some of these apartments. And you see the really industrial, beautiful feel of this facade. The reflection of the stainless steel changes the color throughout the course of the day. Another project we're working on also here, 7,000 square meter headquarter for BIA. The design comes from the recall of the surrounding dunes. It is one of the most sustainable projects worldwide. It will have auditorium, but also like a massive entrance hall. There will education center and so on. So the steel structure is already up. We are just putting on top the GSC panels, and the facade is coming in, which will be openable like a ventilation system, which can be used during the winter months. We also worked on design for, it was a sketch design for yachts, for Bloom and Voss. The right one is basically the first step, and then we developed it to the left one. It's all about, similar to the tower I showed you in Miami, it's all about the kind of exoskeleton, which becomes the kind of shell of this building, or of this product. And also refers to almost like the pattern of marine life, and covers the inside where there's like jacuzzis or pool and bedrooms. We do a lot of also interior design, which could be almost like in a yacht design. These are for 28th Street, what I showed you before. We like the idea that materials from outside, there's a continuous transition to the inside, and we're using also in the interior like GSC or GRG. A more extreme version I show you now, which was done for a hotel in Madrid, which is basically all designed out of one form. in Korean, and it's the floor, the furniture, the bed, even the bathroom and the bathtub is basically all out of one shape. Moving on to installations, this was used a collaboration with ETH Zurich. It's robotic knitted fabric, which actually can fold together. It was shipped in suitcases to Mexico, then assembled on studs, supported by air pillows, and then put on top the concrete shell with no structure whatsoever. Similar, this one is robotic printed, 7 kilometers of structural thread printed onto a form. And the loops are basically relating onto the structural behavior of the surface. So it's become smaller knots on the edges and relaxes in the middle. So the beginning is a robotic wire cut foam base on top, which is then the rods being printed. Parts are then shipped to Italy and assembled and presented. Another project we worked on, which is coming now, is 2 vases I want to show you. These ones for Lalique. Basically, it all starts off with a crystal glass form, which comes into the oven, 1,400 degrees heat, is then comes pressed into a stainless steel mold. It cools out and then being hand finished. Similar we did for a vase in a silver vase. Similar design, very different production process, very handcrafty. Basically, the company copied by hand this pattern we designed and then carefully hammered it out over weeks into this pattern. This pattern is then being polished and silver plated and becomes the product you see on this picture. This is actually my last slide. I hope I can give you a bit of overview of what we're doing. Thank you very much for having us.